You got paid on Friday. By the following Wednesday, you could not tell someone where it went. You earned more this year than last year, and you have less saved. The money came in, the money went out. And if someone asked you right now whether you are actually getting ahead or slowly falling behind, you do not know. Not because you are bad with money, because nobody taught you how to read it. The system that answers that question has a name. It is the most important language in business, and you were never given a single lesson in it. Accounting is the system that tracks where money comes from, where it goes, and what is left. Every spreadsheet, every financial report, every set of company accounts is just a structured way of answering three questions. What do we own? What do we owe? And did we make money or lose it? Every piece of accounting starts with one equation. You already know it even if you have never seen it written down. Everything you own minus everything you owe equals what is actually yours. Your phone, your savings, your car. Those are assets. Things you own that have value. Your rent, your student loan, your credit card balance, those are liabilities. Things you owe. The gap between the two. The thing that is genuinely, fully yours after every debt is cleared. That is equity. Assets equals liabilities plus equity. That is the accounting equation, and every financial statement ever produced is just a more detailed version of it. If you have $10,000 in savings and $8,000 in debt, your equity is $2,000. That is your actual financial position, and most people have never calculated it because nobody told them to subtract. Your phone is an asset. So is your car. So is the cash in your account, the money a client owes you, and the inventory sitting in a warehouse. But they are not the same kind of asset. Cash is a current asset. You can use it now. Your car is a non-current asset. It has value, but you cannot spend it at the supermarket. The client who owes you money is an asset too. It is called accounts receivable, and it is real on paper, but useless until they actually pay. Your entire financial life is a mix of things that are worth something now and things that are worth something eventually. And accounting is the system that stops you confusing the two. Your credit card balance is a liability. So is your rent. So is the student loan you try not to think about. But they are not the same kind of liability either. The credit card is a current liability, due soon, usually within a month. The student loan is a non-current liability. It stretches over years or decades. The rent due Friday and the mortgage that runs until 2051 sit in different categories because one can break you this month and the other is a slow commitment. Accounting separates them so you know which obligations are urgent and which are structural. Most people lump all debt into one feeling of dread. Accounting replaces the dread with a list. You earned $50,000 this year. Your friend earned $50,000 this year. You have $12,000 in savings. They have nothing. Same income. Completely different equity. Equity is not what you earn. It is what you keep. In a company, equity is what belongs to the shareholders after every debt is paid. In your life, equity is your net worth. Everything you own minus everything you owe. Two people with identical salaries can have wildly different equity because income is the top of the funnel, and equity is what survived the trip to the bottom. That is why your salary alone tells you almost nothing about your financial health. Equity does. You earned $3,000 this month. Rent took $950. Bills took $280. Food took $300. Transport took $160. Subscriptions you forgot about took another $40. You look at what is left, and it is a fraction of what came in. That fraction is the only number that matters. Revenue is the money that came in, the $3,000. Profit is what is left after everything it cost you to live. In a business, it is the same. Revenue is every pound a customer paid. Profit is what survives after rent, salaries, materials, marketing, taxes, and interest are subtracted. Revenue is vanity. Profit is sanity. A business can announce record revenue and be dying underneath, and you have watched that happen without knowing which number was lying. It was always the top one. The income statement, some people call it the profit and loss, or P&L, is the scorecard. It answers one question. Over this period, did we make money or lose it? It starts at the top with revenue. Then it subtracts costs in layers, and each layer tells you something different. First subtraction, cost of goods sold. The coffee shop on your street. Every cup costs them beans, milk, a cup, a lid. That is cost of goods sold. The money spent physically making the thing before anything else gets paid. Revenue minus cost of goods sold gives you gross profit. The money left after making the product, but before paying for the building, the staff, or the electricity. Second subtraction, operating expenses, rent, salaries, marketing, software subscriptions. The cost of keeping the business alive around the product. Gross profit minus operating expenses gives you operating profit. Business actually generates before the accountants and the government take their share. Third subtraction, interest, taxes, one-off costs. Operating profit minus these gives you net profit, the actual bottom line, the number that lands in the owner's pocket or gets reinvested. Your payslip does this exact sequence. Gross pay at the top, deductions layered down, net pay at the bottom. You have been reading a P&L your entire working life. You just never called it that. The balance sheet is a photograph, not a video. It shows everything the business owns, owes, and is worth at one specific moment in time. Left side, assets. Right side, liabilities and equity. They always balance. That is why it is called a balance sheet. If they do not balance, someone made an error or someone is lying. You already do this in your head. When you check your bank balance, glance at your credit card debt, and think about whether you could afford an emergency, you are running a mental balance sheet. Accounting just writes it down and forces the numbers to be honest. You finished a project. You invoiced the client £5,000. Your accounting software says you are $5,000 richer. Your bank account says you have $300. Both are technically correct and only one of them can pay your rent. That gap is the difference between profit and cash. Profit says you earned it. Cash says you have it. They are not the same thing, and the distance between them is where businesses quietly die. You can be profitable on paper and bankrupt in the bank because the money you earned has not arrived yet, but the bills you owe have. The cash flow statement tracks this. Cash from operations, money actually received from doing business. Cash from investing, money spent on equipment, property, long-term assets. Cash from financing, money borrowed or repaid, shares issued or bought back. A company can show a profit on the income statement and show negative cash flow on the cash flow statement at the same time. If you have ever wondered how a profitable company runs out of money, this is the answer. The $5,000 the client owes you is accounts receivable. It is your money, technically, on paper, in a world where everyone pays on time. You have lived in that world exactly 0 times. The $3,000 you owe your supplier is accounts payable, their money, technically. The entire dance of business is managing the gap between what you are owed and what you owe, collecting faster than you pay, or at least making sure the timing does not kill you. Every freelancer who has invoiced a big number and eaten toast for dinner understands accounts receivable at a cellular level, even if they have never heard the term. You bought a laptop for £1,000. By next year, it is worth £700. You did not lose £300. You used £300 of laptop. That is depreciation, the accounting method for spreading the cost of an asset over the years you use it. Your car, your equipment, your furniture, they lose value over time, and accounting counts that loss even though you never wrote a check. It matters because it reduces your profit on paper, which reduces your tax bill, which means the government is effectively sharing the cost of your assets wearing out. The laptop cost $1,000. The tax benefit of depreciating it means it cost you less than $1,000 in real terms. Most people never claim this because nobody explained what depreciation actually does for them. Every transaction in accounting has 2 sides. Buy a laptop for £1,000 in cash. Your equipment goes up by $1,000 and your cash goes down by $1,000. The total does not change. The composition does. That is double entry bookkeeping, and it has been the foundation of every financial system on the planet since a monk in Italy wrote it down in 1494. It is the reason balance sheets balance, the reason errors get caught, and the reason every transaction has a trail. It sounds archaic. It is the most resilient piece of financial technology ever invented. 500 years, and nobody has found a better system. You finished a website for a client on the 1st of January. They will not pay until March. Did you earn that money in January or March? Cash accounting says March, when the money hits your account. Accrual accounting says January, when you delivered the work. Most freelancers and small businesses use cash because it is simpler. Money in, money out, done. Most companies above a certain size are required to use accrual because it gives a more accurate picture of what is actually happening over time. The difference matters more than it sounds. A freelancer who landed 3 big projects in January but will not get paid until April looks broke in cash accounting and thriving in accrual. Same work, same invoices. Completely different story depending on which system tells it. You sell coffee for £4. The beans, milk, cup, and lid cost you £1.80. Your gross profit is $2.20 per cup. You pay $900 a month in rent, $400 in staff, $200 in utilities. That is $1,500 in fixed costs. $1,500 divided by $2.20 means you need to sell 682 cups of coffee before you make a single penny of actual profit. That is your break-even point, the number where revenue finally covers all costs, and the next sale is the first one that counts. Every sale before 682 is paying for the right to exist. Every sale after is profit. Most small businesses do not know their break-even number, which means they do not know whether a busy week was actually a profitable week or just a less losing one. You opened your investing app, looked at a stock, and saw a number next to PE that meant nothing to you. It said 25. You scrolled past it. That number was telling you that investors are paying £25 for every £1 of profit the company earns. Whether that is expensive depends on how fast the company is growing and what everyone else in the same industry trades at. But you did not know that, so the number was invisible. Financial ratios are the shortcuts that turn a wall of numbers into an answer. Profit margin tells you how much of every pound in revenue actually becomes profit. A 10% margin means 90 pence of every pound went to costs. Return on equity tells you how hard the owner's money is working. The current ratio tells you whether the company can pay its bills this quarter. None of these means anything alone. A 5% margin is a disaster for a software company and a triumph for a supermarket. The ratio is the question. The industry is the answer. But now, when you see that number on your app, you know what it is asking. An audit is someone checking whether the numbers are true. External auditors, independent firms, go through the accounts and confirm that what the company claims matches reality. They do not guarantee the company is healthy. They guarantee the numbers are not fabricated. The difference matters. Enron passed its audits right up until it did not. The audit said the numbers were real. The numbers were fiction. The auditor, Arthur Anderson, no longer exists. If you have ever looked at a set of company accounts and assumed they were accurate because they were published, the audit is the reason you could make that assumption, and Enron is the reason you should not trust it completely. You have been doing accounting your whole life. Every time you checked whether you could afford something, every time you compared what you earned to what you spent, every time you looked at your balance and felt either relief or dread, you were doing accounting. You just did not have the vocabulary. Now you do. Assets, liabilities, equity, revenue, profit, cash flow, receivables, depreciation, break-even. The income statement tells you if you made money. The balance sheet tells you what you are worth. The cash flow statement tells you whether you can survive until the next payment arrives. Every financial headline you read, every business you evaluate, every decision you make about your own money, the system underneath all of it is what you just learned. The numbers were always there. You can read them now.